Karen, thank you so much. All right, our next survivor that you're going to be hearing from is Julian Vincent, and he will actually be joining us virtually. So, Julian's life is a miraculous story of victory. When it seemed everything was fighting against his survival, the power of redemption won the war. Julian's story will grip your heart, give you hope, and increase your faith in the warrior who fights for you.
Good evening, everyone. Once upon a time, there was a child who was born into a caste that provided warriors to ancient southern Indian kings. A group from this caste came to Sri Lanka a century ago, forced to migrate to work in the country's tea plantation as a result of the English colonization. Such a group began a brand new chapter. So the child was a fourth generation immigrant. I'll begin with this child's birth. Can you imagine with me an embryo? It is created with a wonderful sense of calm even before its mother is aware of it. This image can best convey peace and tranquility to all of us. You would likely agree with me if I claimed that the unmatched moment of delight for any mother and father and the world is to learn that a baby is on the way to join the family. But when the world learned of the presence of this unborn child, those who should have accepted and cared for it chose to try to put an end to it. Such glorious life and its inception were opposed by the power of darkness, hell, and the agents of the fallen world. These parents thought they had the power to destroy the future of their offspring. Thus, they all rallied against the peace that existed in the womb and the innocence it represented. You could visualize that the unborn child sensed the mother's attempts at abortion with help from other people more powerfully than a tsunami, a storm, or any other natural tragedy in the world. Such attempts to remove the child from the mother's womb using Ayurvedic medicine had a destructive influence on this unborn child. However, humanity was powerless to stop the birth of this child no matter what they did, and I survived. God deserves praise for the amazing grace He showed me. My attendance at this event is made possible by such amazing grace. But the battle was real. In 1980, when I was born, Sri Lanka began to undergo its civil war, one of the most gruesome conflicts in the world has ever known. The island was ablaze with the flame of war. When I was about 5 years old, I was informed that the majority ethnic group's fanatics had taken over our tea estate. All were running for safety. When I tried to follow my brother, I panicked and lost him. I was forced to seek safety at a Hindu shrine that was home to cobras. I'm not sure how long I was hiding in a closet until individuals who were searching for me found me. Thank God He protected me again on that day. However, it has been a constant struggle to be a person of a minority ethnicity and succeed in life. I praise Lord once more for having brought me this far. The world always seemed unfriendly and unwelcoming to me during my entire life. I was raised by the same people that tried to kill me. Their personal struggles during my childhood greatly amplified my internal conflicts. My dad committed bigamy. He married my mother while he already had a legitimate wife and kids. My mother was an orphan when she met my father. was extremely young, had no formal education, and only had two younger brothers. Hindu funeral rites were done by her brothers and other family members to enable her to separate from them. My parents' conduct caused a lot of problems for them and everyone else around them. Domestic abuse made the house a living hell. Guilt and shame were interwoven, becoming stronger, fighting to control us all. Abusers could not be prevented. My older sibling always hated me and never wanted me to enter the family. The night before my public exams, much like the SAT in America, my brother attacked me, severely injured me, and almost killed me. I nevertheless managed to pass the examinations. My early years were like fighting inside a lion's den. But the Creator served as my lover, sustainer, and my warrior throughout all of my days. He fought for me. He taught me the art of living. He is my Father, and getting to know Him has made it easier for me to navigate through life's challenges and to understand what life is all about. By such insight, the world's untruth was destroyed. I finally realized that I had the right to live because this is His earth. His presence in my life gave me more life, despite the harshness of hell and death having been a part of my existence. His gift of life is much greater than any force that might destroy. Thus, I have started to understand the peace that defies human description. I know that I had that peace at conception in my mother's womb, and now I get to experience it once more in my earthly life. My mother also was given the gift of peace as she came to know the Lord. Through her relationship with Him, she overcame her mental, social, physical, and spiritual problems. Spending time in the Lord's presence during her painful life allowed her to experience serenity and joy. My dad likewise underwent a conversion experience. I was amazed to see him on his knees, praying and reading the Bible. As it turns out, God was fighting for the souls of my parents too, and He won. After my father passed away, I was left to take care of my mother for 10 years. I had the opportunity to provide her the best care possible. Cancer caused her death. However, she had a strong belief in God and was grateful for her life while battling cancer. I started crying as the priest said the prayers and the congregation sang during her burial. Then I understood that God had saved me to serve her. I believed the battle was over, but after meeting with the Abortion Survivors Network, I see that I must participate in a different war, the battle between life and death. I'm aware that I'm equipped by the Lord to protect the lives of the most vulnerable, unborn infants. In this conflict, I'm on the front lines. I urge you to take part in this conflict too. You won't have a civilization tomorrow if you don't fight today. Which side are you on in this battle?
Thank you, Julian.